Hey YouTube, Kurt here, and today I want to talk a little bit to you about what you should do if you want to be in a band. So at this point you've probably been playing, hopefully, at least maybe 1 to 2 years, and you have a pretty decent understanding of music, and you could probably cover at least at least 5 songs front to back. That's probably at least the minimum I would want to go for if you wanted to be part of a band. And again, you could be in a band with your friends or whatever. If you're in a band with your friends and all of you haven't played a lot of instruments, the first product might be a little bit bad overall. Which is okay, but you're going to want to get second opinions about your music. Build confidence and get second opinions. And make sure, probably the most important thing is that you're in tune and in time. You can play easy music, but the most important thing is that it's in time and it's in tune. That's probably the most important thing. But first, I want to address: do you have to be in a band if you want to express yourself musically? By all means, you do not have to be in a band to be a successful musician. And of course, what success should be for you if you're a musician. Success should be your ability to express yourself through your music. As long as you're expressing yourself through your music and you're doing that appropriately, you are a successful musician. You don't need to have a crowd of 10 million people to be successful in the realm of music. Music is an art. It's a small part science, but a lot of it's an art. And that's one thing you have to be wary of. But still, bands can be very cool. And bands can build your confidence too, and that's also a very good thing about a band. Bands get crowds alive, so it's a very cool thing, but realize that bands form and break up all the time. Even the good ones. A lot of good ones break up all the time, and it's because a lot of musicians, they tend to be the flakier type. Especially with people who are closer to my own age. With that said, if you know all these things, you still want to form a band, the first thing you're going to do, you're going to want to network a little bit. Essentially, if you have friends and your friends are good musicians and you're all on the same page musically, friends can be a very good group to form a band with. They can also be an extremely bad group to form a band with, but if you're all good musicians, the final product can be long-lasting, and it can be very, very awesome. Something that people can get on board with. Now, if that's not an option, and your close friends are probably pretty bad musicians, you're going to want to network a little bit. Now, I have been able to network a little bit in my own life, and I've been in a couple bands, kind of briefly. I was in one for a couple years, but we didn't do shows that much. And that one, it didn't really fall apart because our music was bad. We had a singer that just kind of called it quits without telling anybody. Hence, young adulthood is kind of hard to form these things. But in order to network, you're probably going to want go out to bars. Find out which bars are the music bars in town. Craigslist, in my experience, is a very bad avenue to go. Don't go on Craigslist. You'll just find a bunch of assholes. Like, I live in South Chicago, and I get on Craigslist and I just see a bunch of crap. That's essentially all I see. But, that being said, what you're going to want to do, you're probably going to want to go out to the bar scene. Find people that share your interests, share your likes. And you're just essentially going to want to expand your social network. And Facebook can be good for that, but you're going to want to meet a lot of people in person, and that's what's going to count. Now, open mics, if you're a guitarist, what you should do, probably have an acoustic guitar, but you don't have to have one. An electric can do. You can go out and build your confidence and get into those open mics. That's going to be one thing that's going to be very good for you. Eventually, you're going to run into other people that want to network, and you're going to run into other people that want to make music. In my experience, drummers can be the hardest to find, but they're out there. And the important thing is, if you get discouraged into finding a band, even if you're a good player, just point it all back to what the music is all about. If you're in music for good reasons, you might get a little discouraged, but being in a band isn't going to be the most important thing. The music is going to be the most important thing. Yeah, and that's essentially what my opinion is on that. Now, it can be a cover band, it can be a creative band, whatever you want to make it. Cover bands can do really, really well. And sometimes I think, like, I've been into cover bands can get boring because they're covers. They're not, I mean, you essentially, the way to play them is mostly spelled out for you already. But, like, in terms, like, if you want to make money, you can make a lot of big money in a cover band, but a cover band is still a lot of work to get to that level where people are shelling out $1,200 plus a show to go see you. And in Chicago, that's definitely not unheard of. There's a lot of bands that make at least $1,200 a night. If you go out to the Vegas Strip, the numbers get completely ridiculous, like in terms of what musicians actually make, or can make on a nightly basis. So, in some scenarios, you could gig once a week and make more than working at a full-time job, which is pretty crazy. But it's not something to put all your chips in on. And again, make it all about the music. If you make it all about the music, you'll find some success in there. Will your band be the next Led Zeppelin? It's hard to say. The only thing you can do is just do the best that you can do in terms of networking, in terms of just playing the music. If you're meant to be part of the next Led Zeppelin, maybe it'll happen. Like, and even if you're that good, maybe it won't happen. Just, again, music is a spiritual endeavor, and it should be treated as such. So if you have any questions or add-ons to all of that, yeah, feel free to comment, and hopefully I'll be back soon with another video. So, peace, guys. Thanks.